Strategic Hotbox with Dr. Brandy Love Stankovic. Discussing leadership, business, and how to take control of your life and achieve greatness. From the streets of Las Vegas, energized, informed, and never diluted. It's time to kick some ass.
What up? It's your girl, Dr. Brandy Stankovic. It's been 3 years. Woo!
Wow.
Or how do the MBA? Should we do the MBA?
You could do the Inglourious Bastards mix-up, right? You got to get it straight.
However you want to look at it. It's the Learn, Love, Kick-Ass 3 years and counting with my boy, Tobias Kennedy. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
And we're going to call another one of my favorites, Paul Norgrove. He's going to join us as well. It's a special episode. I am so excited. My cheeks hurt already. This is going to be great. Thank you for being here. As you know, on the Hotbox, it's been 3 years now of learning and loving and kicking ass. Thank you. We could not be doing this without every single one of you. So thank you to the Strategic Hotbox family. Thank you to those of you that are pioneers, that you've been with me from the very start. The crazy ones that answer my texts in the middle of the night, whether I ask you leadership questions or ask you to help me do something or send me shout outs or help find guests and any of those kinds of things. I could not have done any of this without you. And I also want to say thank you to my creepers, the ones that are binge watching, the people that are my fangirls, the ones that are out there that watch those episodes and come up to me. And
You're welcome.
I love you. I love you, Toby. And thank you to the friends that also watch the episodes and then want to comment on the things that happen in those episodes and text me like, girl, what up, just in comment about different moments and topics. And I love that as well. You are all so precious to me in this, making this a success, and precious to me in the future of everything that I've created and built with you. And thank you. That's it. And so with that in mind, I thought to myself, how best to celebrate this 3 years than to pull it all together? We've had 78 episodes. We've had shout outs from 75. Yay! I know.
Unbelievable.
It is incredible. Shout outs from 25 countries and from all over the United States. We've had guests from Ireland, the United Kingdom, and Paraguay, and Macedonia, and Australia, and Bahamas, and Trinidad, and Germany, and Barbados. We've had MMA fighters and NFL players and professors and sex therapists and strip performers and CFOs and best-selling authors. It's been an incredible journey, and all of them with three things in common, of course, and that's that they learn and they love and they get out there and they kick some ass. And I think the stories that they've brought to the Hotbox have been pretty special. So we were brainstorming in this celebration of what do we do? How do we to look back on the OG? And I wanted to share some of those OG moments with you when it all began, when we were first in the brainstorming, the people that fearlessly came and followed my craziness, that fearlessly went, what are you doing? Okay, what are you doing? All right, I'm in, and thought, hey, I'll just go for this. And the people that just jump in with 2 feet. And I'm going to call this little piece the Hotbox Cherry for you. And I want to show you some screenshots of some messages and some emails that went around. The first is messages between Kindred LA. So shout out to Amanda and Jason, who helped us at the very beginning in the creation of this. And I was throwing around podcast names, and we came up with the idea of doing the podcast. And I said, what about the Strategic Hotbox? And I came up with this idea like that we had the Strategic MVP and wanted to make it a little edgy and crazy. And I also had these names of Leading Las Vegas and Learn, Love, Kick Ass. Before we even found this beautiful studio here, and Sue immediately right back, I like it, but also maybe this Learn, Love, Kick Ass concept is cool too. And I said, well, what if we did both? And we had this cool segment concept. And then someone came and went, well, what if it's the wrong idea and we get the wrong idea from people? What if they think Hotbox is all about smoking pot? And then I said, well, I'll text a few friends. So I threw some texts out to some friends, and I sent a message to Jennifer. I said, what does the title Strategic Hotbox mean to you? And she said she thought it was like hot seat, like a conversation about strategy, something to be intense and hard hitting. And I was like, yes, that's exactly what I was going for. And she asked me, and she went on to ask me what I thought. And I thought it was like a condensed place where we could have authentic conversations, where the things that I'm breathing out, the other person is breathing breathing in, which is essentially what a hotbox is, but in a leadership sense of how is it that we get down and dirty with some of the concepts and keep it real. I want to have the conversations, and we've been having the conversations here in the Hotbox about business in a way that we have it offline. We don't get to have these conversations in the boardroom very often. We don't get to have these conversations when we're being politically correct. And so that was what the Hotbox was trying to be built around, or we tried to build it around. And then we had amazing people like Toby that came on and joined us. And we're going to dig into his debut here in a second. But he did share, and we said, we should probably try this social media thing, because we have a podcast now. We just have an episode out, and we should try this social media thing. And so he shared it out on social media, and we were so excited because if you look down the bottom there, for those that are watching, we had 260 likes. So we had a Facebook page, and we started 260 likes. It was more than our business, our company had at the time. We're just like, wow, this is incredible. And then people started watching and listening to the podcast, and we went, whoa, and it grew. And then we had 1,000. When we had 1,000, we're like, oh my gosh, we better start paying attention to this podcast thing and have a few more episodes. And then we had 10,000, and we went, oh my gosh, we better start setting goals around this podcast. And then we had 100,000, and then we went, oh no. now we have something to really strive for. And today we're sitting at over 400,000 on Facebook alone, and not to mention some of the other social platforms and places that people listen and watch. So thank you. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I couldn't do this without these individuals as well. These are the homies. We call these the Hotbox homies. And one of the OG homies is Carly. I sent her a message and I said, hey, so if I sent you a t-shirt, would you be a sexy model for me? And she immediately wrote back, I'd be honored. And so she sent me some pretty awesome pics of her in her Hotbox gear, as did many of you. And so I really appreciate all of you that did that for us as well, and just helping us get that word out. None of the growth would have happened without all of the sexiness that is all of you that are out there. And this is kind of the culmination of all of it. One of the guests that you just listened to is kind of the round out of our season 2 is the amazing illustrator and author, Jessica Hagee. And if you don't know her, check out her book. She's been featured in a lot of books, and she is a best-selling author herself, but she created this for us. And it's through the learning and the loving that then, catapults you into the kicking ass. And she created this card for us, this note card for us, and doing that. But it all began with this individual, and this is Shauna Shearson, and I wanted to share that this story with her. When this all started, I said, okay, I'm going to do this, but I need a first couple guests. So I sent 2 text messages out. I sent one to Mr. Toby Kennedy, I'm going to introduce you here in just a second, and I sent a second to Shauna Shearson. And Shauna is a good friend, and she immediately said yes, and she was the very first episode that we filmed. And we ended up, because of the topic, we switched it, and we aired it a little bit later, and we aired Mr. Kennedy first, but she was the very first one. And so I wanted to give her a special shout out for being our #1 guest. And she sent us a little message and shout out as well. Scott, would you play it?
Hey, it's Shauna Shearson in Bakersfield, California at Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, giving a shout out to Brandy Love. Congratulations on 3 years at the Strategic Hotbox. I'm so happy for you, you amazing rock star, and I am so glad I don't ignore your random texts. Have a happy anniversary and many more.
I think there was a little bit of cynicism in her ignore your random text, to be honest. No, thank you so much to Shauna. She's always been a part of the process all along the way. And now I'd like to formally introduce you to the man, Mr. Episode 1, the original gangster, right here in front of me, Executive Vice President of Montage Insurance Solutions and CEO of Sim Policy, healthcare expert and speaker extraordinaire, Tobias Kennedy. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that as an intro, I got to be reminded that the writer I had in my contract to bump Shauna off the first episode ultimately happened. I'm confident she'll watch this. And Shauna, I'm really glad that I was episode 1. Shauna, who I know and love as well.
Yeah, and thank you for you. What was it like getting that text message from me of saying, hey, remember that thing we chatted about over drinks? Yeah, I'm going to do it. And would you be my,
It was on brand, as you typically are. So I know that, you know, a lot of things are talked about over drinks that don't always come to culmination, but I think that that's probably part of what makes you and this podcast special is, you know, you don't need all the lights to be green before you get going. You know what I mean? So to the idea that you started this and really truly did it would have been shocking if you were one of a lot of other people in my world, but kind of knowing you, knowing who you were, I was like, yeah, I mean, she said it, so she's going to go ahead and manifest it. And if I can be any part of it, you know, let alone the first cast was and still is a tremendous honor. But it was really cool. Thank you.
Oh, so how are you? What's up?
Good. Yeah.
What's been going on?
You know, changes, right? It's been 3 years, which is, you know, on one end, you're kind of like, wow, that's crazy. 3 years. And you think about, you know, you get these like Facebook memory pushes and you're like, God, that feels like it was yesterday. That's a million years ago, except my beard's grayer. But, you know, time kind of comes and goes. And at the same time, I went from no kids to I've got 2 kids and I've got one that just turned 3, right? So right around when this started, my wife was, you know, whatever, 36, 38 weeks pregnant. And my 3-year-old's fully online. Like we talk, we chat, he's amazing. And so I think back to that episode to now and it's like, on the one hand, it feels like it was yesterday. On the other hand, if you look at some of the things that have been built, not only, you know, my kids, but 400,000 followers for this, you know, Strategic Hotbox, like it's a testament to how you really just kind of do it one day at a time and one step at a time. And maybe you don't see the growth in any particular moment. And then you zoom out and you look back and man, Rome's halfway built, man.
Right. Yeah, it's true. And like you said, things happen so quickly. People commonly will ask about like going to school or how do I have kids when I'm working in a career? And you just do. If you want to do it, you just do. Time goes by.
Yeah, I think they're trying to see there from here. You know what I mean? And you're like, don't worry about that. Like you drive home every night with your headlights. They only illuminate whatever 50, 100 feet in front of you or whatever it is. Don't at me, car guys, whatever it illuminates. But it doesn't go all the way to your house. You don't need to see the complete destination. You see a little bit in front of you. You make the wise decisions. You kind of correct the wheel to keep you on the road. And you take it from there. And then all of a sudden you're home.
Yeah. And so what makes you say yes to some things? You said yes to this, but you also say yes to other things in your life to keep you moving forward. Yeah.
I don't know. I think, you know, first of all, what are we here for, right? If not to, you know, do crazy things and live a little. But, you know, this specifically I can answer because I remember, you know, we had done several speaking engagements and, you know, I don't know how many people kind of know the origin stories of us, but we were both kind of on the speaking circuit among the other professional things you do and that I do. And your book was really interesting to me. You know, I read a lot and I also I travel a lot. So I'm on Audible a bunch. So I consume content is probably the right way to put it. But your book was very it was something that it had immediate takeaways. It had immediate value. It wasn't as ephemeral as some of the other things that I sometimes get into. And I just, again, kind of tethering this back to the moment where I wasn't surprised that you ended up doing it. You're such an action person. And that book it's such a great book, not to sit here and plug, well, it's your podcast. I'll plug the book for you, but check out the book. The book's amazing. And it has a lot of great, you know, if you're involved in any level of business or management whatsoever, it has immediate things that are useful in it. And so that to me was one catalyst to really want to get behind the pod because I knew it was going to go from, you know, the paltry 260 likes to 400,000.
It's a reminder for me though, and even listening to you, that it is a part of who I am. And I do need to not I get drowned. Like I get to where I'm in this place of drowning a lot, especially lately in work. There's so many things going on, work and life, and there's so much that I drown, so much that I don't end up doing things as effectively as I can. I don't end up executing because I put them off because I'm so busy. That's become my new thing. So
Bruce Lee talked about hack away at the unessential, right? And, you know, that quote always sticks with me, and I'm paraphrasing the quote, but the idea that there really is a lot going on. So you're talking about, oh, I'm really busy or this or that. And it's like, well, A, what all are you busy with? And B, what are you actually trying to do or accomplish? And if you can kind of pour some more of your energy into those sorts of things, And again, be okay with incremental progress that you maybe don't see immediately. But just, that's how things actually end up doing and happening.
Right. And you kind of just have to say yes. Sometimes it reminds me of one of the best moments that I remember on the podcast. And that's when Shauna forced me to go, a different Shauna Richardson forced me to go skydiving. Yeah. And that I said yes. And then we scheduled it, and then it just happened. And it was one of those things that I'm glad that we did, because then it was scheduled and it just went, and it really forced that disruption.
I love that episode. Please, anyone that, is out there, check that episode out, rewatch it. I actually rewatched it again recently because it is such a reminder. We were talking a little bit off air. I mentioned cooking through some content. I'm reading a book on habits right now. And it's really interesting when you zoom out and try to determine how much of your day or world or life is something that you've baked in because at one point you made a decision to do X, Y, or Z, and now that decision has become habit. And how can you break that? You don't need to be as violently broken as jumping out of an airplane at 13,000 feet or whatever it was. But that's one way, and it's such an amazing story of a microcosm of looking at what you have going on. And you guys even mentioned the word rut, looking at any ruts and kind of saying like, all right, well, what's one way out of this? And certainly jumping out of a plane was one way out.
Shake it all up. But I also learned about fear and myself and just bigger perspectives and things too. But another favorite moment that I really want to highlight now in some of our discussions and show and share with you is the shout outs. I've given some thank yous, but having friends and strangers and randoms be willing to say hello to us has been incredible. And so we've put together a mashup of some of our favorite shout outs, and I'd love to go out to that mashup now.
This pastrami will expand your ass, but listening to my girl Brandy Stankovic on the Strategic Hotbox will expand your mind.
What's up? It's your boy Lico. I'm a professional dancer, choreographer, and designer. You are listening to Brandy Stankovic on Strategic Hotbox.
What's up, Brandy? Ryan Anderson here with Son of a Digger. Where are you at? Be here, Monster Jam.
Stacy from Season 2, Naked and Afraid XL here. Wanted to give a shout out to my girl, Brandy Stankovic.
My name is Willie Kenyon, and I'm listening to the Strategic Hotbox.
What's up, Hotbox listeners? This is Jeff from the sidelines at AT&T Stadium. Just want to give you a quick shout out to Brandy.
You're listening to my mom on Strategic Hotbox. Listen up, because she's smart and cool. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
Here in Belfast at the Crown, waiting to meet with Lord Jameson's, and just wanted to send a big shout out to my baby girl, Brandy Stankovic.
Hi, you're listening to my granddaughter Brandy's Hotbox. She's special. I love her. Carl Mitchell, yes, maybe World War II.
Brandy Stankovic, the most beautiful, inspiring, intelligent creature on the planet.
Hi, I'm Kelly Haggeter.
Hi, I'm Meredith Fretz.
Hey, you reached Ginger.
Hi everyone, my name is Kendra Galloway.
And listen, I love the Strategic Hotbox. We got to get together, have a cocktail, and kick ass.
Hey guys, this is Matt Severson, coming at you from the top of Mount Charleston outside of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hi, this is Eric Williams coming from Front Range CrossFit in Denver, Colorado.
Dr. Brandy. Dr. Love.
Merrick Turk. This is Gracie from Mike the Gym. This is my team.
Because of the Strategic Hotbox, I have a kick-ass commute to work.
Oh, yes! If you want to have what I just had, then you'll keep listening to my girl Brandy Stankovic on the Strategic Hotbox. This is Tiffany coming at you live from Katz's Deli in New York City.
Oh, Oh, that fills my heart so much seeing those shout outs.
Yes.
It's so incredible. One, I feel just emotion seeing my family, my baby, and of course my grandpa, and the fact that he gave a shout out, and rest in peace, and my dad and Lord Jameson's. That just cracks me up. And then even Tiffany, she had at the beginning and the end, she just has a way of bringing it all together for us. And so thank you. And shout out back to all of my homies for doing that. So incredible.
Yeah, I tried to pick a favorite. I was leaning didgeridoo early on. And then obviously you had the beefcake and Papa Mitchell. But closing out with Tiffany at the Delicatessen was, I'll say, special.
Yeah, how do you not do that?
So that's a lot of successes, and those guys are awesome. I'll tell you though, for me, I think that when I'm thinking about what people might be interested in too, is a look in some of the non-successes. What's your favorite outtake, memory, blooper? What's some of those that you got going on for us?
Well, there's only one episode where because we film live here on the Hotbox. So many people, if you don't know that, we film where once we start, we go until the end. So there's some craziness that have occurred. I remember one episode with Matt, when we were talking about sales, there was gangster rap playing in our ears and we had to pull our earphones out. But there's only one episode where we had to refilm, and that was a financial literacy episode where we kept the interview, but we refilmed my portion. And the reason we did that is because I had super cleavage going on. And if it had been a better topic, but it was kids' financial literacy. And those, how do I roll out an episode?
Is that the day you went from 1,000 to 400,000 likes?
That's really how we got the 400,000 episode. Yeah, exactly. No, so that's the only one that we've had. But the best bloopers ever have got to be my kids. And so I want to show that.
Wishing the Strategic Hotbox a happy 3rd anniversary. And my mommy a happy 29th birthday.
Big cheesers.
You're listening to my mommy. Thank you. You're listening to my mommy.
Okay, go.
You're listening to my You're listening to my mommy. Thank you. You're listening to my mommy. Thank you. I want to see you, mommy.
Arms on him.
You're listening to my mommy. Thank you. Thank you. You're listening to my mommy. Thank you. You're listening to my mommy. Thank you. Yeah.
They're still punks, even now. They really are.
That's like the end of a good Jackie Chan movie.
Much more mature in their approach, but they're still little punks. So we'll move from bloopers to one of.
Wait, we're moving from bloopers? I thought you mentioned there's 2 of your favorite bloopers.
No. We're not showing clips of the cleavage.
Right,
No.
Then I guess let's move on. I didn't get the rundown.
One of my most favorite guests, as we mentioned at the top, is also our first ever impersonal international guest. And he is a CEO at Police Credit Union in the United Kingdom. And he was here with us really early on. And I'd love to play a little clip and then bring him in to chat with us as well. So let's take a look at Paul Norgrove and his time with us.
The best learning experiences come from doing something that's outside of your comfort zone. So whether it's sat here today after no sleep and a long flight, or public speaking the first couple of times, it doesn't matter what position you're in, whether it's a leadership position or not. The best learning experiences and things that you carry with you are things you've done for the first time or it's outside your comfort zone.
So for those that are listening that think there's no way I could do something like that, what do you do?
I don't think I've ever gotten over the nerves for anything. I was nervous before coming on today. I think you just have to live with them, and I think they're a good thing. I think it proves that you care, and I think they're a reminder of what you're doing. It's important.
So I really have no idea what you just said. I was completely lost in your accent. I'm batting my eyelashes for anyone who knows that. So that it automatically sound more sophisticated, just so you know. So for those of you that are listening. So this is our first ever international guest. Formally introduce you to Paul Norgrove. Hello, Paul.
Hi, all the way from the UK. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
How
thank
was
you for having
it?
me back.
Did you know Toby here with us today?
Mr. Paul,
I don't
hello,
know Toby,
sir.
no, but I have watched his episode, and I particularly love his thoughts on culture, and that's a big part of what we're doing here at PCU. So big shout out to Toby and his Hotbox royalty as guest number 1.
Cheers. Thanks very much, Paul. Thank you, sir.
So how are you doing? Was it weird to watch back and see you on the Hotbox?
Yeah, hopefully the accent hasn't changed, and you can still flirt the eyelashes and other bits and pieces. The main thing for me is, I think Toby hit it on the head in the first one. It feels like only 5 minutes ago, but during that 5 minutes, so much has happened in a journey in life. But it's certainly different looking back. I feel like I've evolved a lot more for the experience. So, thank you for having me there.
What is the biggest change in your life from that episode till now?
I'd probably say, from a personal perspective, the need to spend more time with people that I care about, loved ones, investing in colleagues, and I'll also put important people as myself in that list in terms of, not being afraid to self-care, recharge, eat well, live well. I would say drink less, but that would be lying. But essentially just being aware of my own purpose in life and making sure that, my interactions with people around me, particularly people I care about, are positive ones for them. So that'd be a big change in my life, and lots of other things as well, I'm sure, in terms of family, friends, etc.
Yeah, and how did the Hotbox change your perspective or challenge you?
I think it was one of the learning items from our episode together way back in November 17 was the need to surround myself with good people, people who share the same passion. I think I said in the interview then I couldn't expect people to deploy the same passion that I have, and that was a mistruth, because I found those people. They're out there, they exist, and I've surrounded myself with people who do things that I can't do, and they do them well. We've reorganized the whole team, and that was a huge takeaway from me. In terms of the challenge, speaking on a podcast after a long flight and very little sleep was a bit of a challenge. I was extremely nervous. And since then, really, I think stepping outside the comfort zone and doing things in spite of fear and embracing them is something that I've carried forward. So it challenged me, but it refined me and made me a better individual. So thank you.
Oh, thank you for being part of it. We've been doing some reminiscing here, as you've seen. Any favorite parts of the show? Some learning or the loving or?
I think it's a kick-ass and probably a little bit of loving as well. Particularly the skydive episode. I think that one, if you're going to watch it, there's some brilliant context on empathy. I think Shana talks about, who's also amazing, by the way, who talks about the comments after the skydive and how you guys felt, predominantly around trusting your life in the hands of an individual you didn't even know. And I think that was a huge takeaway for me. So a little bit of love, but kick-ass because you jumped out of a plane. But the whole experience of giving up something to someone, trusting them immediately, and then having an amazing experience is something that everyone could benefit from. So I'd probably say a little bit of loving and a little bit of kicking ass.
Yeah, definitely. And I remember when you were here and you were so nervous and trying to calm your nerves, because there were a couple episodes that we filmed that day that you, and so there was a lot of buildup in going forward to it. Do you still feel those nerves?
I think nerves are always a good thing. I said it then. I think if you don't have nerves, it's not important. I think nerves are a positive thing and you should try and embrace them. Slowing down, speaking clearly with this accent is sometimes difficult. But I do think in terms of nerves and other bits and pieces, you have to embrace them and move forward. But yeah, particularly that day, there were some real stellar individuals taking part, and I was sitting around for long periods of time,
including you.
And I think, including me. And you have to be able to sort of listen, see what's going on, get into the rhythm of the day, and also just wait for your time because it always comes. So, yeah, pretty much that.
Absolutely. Do you have any thoughts or questions for him, Toby?
Yeah, Paul, I thought your conversation was brilliant. I'm interested to hear you circling back to who you surround yourself with. And I'd wonder about this because in danger of putting words in your mouth, but I find myself doing this as well in my personal life, right? So I found myself drawn, and it doesn't matter what. Like, one of my best buddies is a tremendous improv actor. One of them's just an amazing musician. One of them's literally the best, you know, female soccer coach in the country. And surrounding yourself with those types of folks, I'd question: are you just talking professionally, or are you talking personally as well, or do you have any thoughts on that?
I think it's life. I think so. Professionally, absolutely, the benefits come as a purpose for your job and employment, but also from life. And I think you hit the nail on the head then with your friends. You know, you surround yourself with good people, even if the skills aren't necessarily obvious to transfer. You're all elevating each other. You know, I have plenty of friends on different career paths, different life journeys. You know, I was one of the first out of our group to have children. I had them young. So a lot of my friends will come to me and talk about children stuff. Now they're in that cycle of having a 1-year-old and 2-year-old, which I do not miss at all.
No, me neither. I don't.
No, sorry, Toby. I have a 3-month-old brother.
I get to sleep. I'm really sorry, Toby. You might not every night, but I think you're absolutely right. I think in terms of surrounding yourself with good people in and out of work, just in life, elevates you and it elevates them. And I think, you know, that on the flip side of that, there's also the take of a toxic individual, either in a professional setting or personal setting, can really drain your energy. And I think the importance of understanding the impact other people have on you is massively important from an emotional standpoint, but also what it does to you and what you do to other people as a result. If there's someone toxic in your life, it can essentially mean that you're not performing to your best to the people around you, and that's really important. And I think a life lesson for anyone, no matter who it is, no matter how long you've known them, if they are toxic or they're impacting you negatively, don't be afraid to let them go, because there's millions of wonderful people out there with skills and energy and experience that you can really get into. And I think when you get into that cycle, you'll be amazed at how much your life just improves incrementally by surrounding yourself with positive people.
Just for the record, you guys are the friends that I brag about at parties. So I'm like, I have these friends, like one from the UK and one that plays, you know, soccer. And so any advice or bold action items or takeaways for the listeners and watchers today, Paul?
I think I went into it then and said a little bit about not being afraid and no fear, but I think that's an absolute huge learning for me, and I feel like that's been the tool for progression. I think the absolutely learn, absolutely love, absolutely kick ass, but at the same time, don't be afraid to be authentic and do it your own way, because when you fail doing it your own way, it's much easier to pick yourself up and learn from it. But when you succeed with other people and you kick ass with other people, you know, you can celebrate and love that environment that you create. So it's essentially live without fear, live with purpose, you know, incremental small steps, but enjoy every single moment of it and do it your way, because it's not a dress rehearsal.
It. It was perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here and being part of this 3-year celebration with us, Paul. Thank you for joining the Hotbox all along the way.
No problem. And congratulations on the 3 years and the amazing work you've done.
Thank you. Good seeing you. Talk to you later.
Take care.
Head out to our international shout out.
Soy Pablo Cornejo de Argentina.
We're in downtown Melbourne, Australia.
Hi Brandy, it's Jacob from the Vienna Boys Choir.
We are now in Budapest.
I'm from Cameroon.
Greetings from Santiago.
In Ghana, West Africa.
Euch dabei zu haben und euch zu fahren.
Hi, I'm Brian from Dublin City Bike Tours.
Hi, I'm Melanie and I'm from Ireland.
I'm Benson, and I am a tour guide in Kenya.
Hello, my name is Eleonora Zgonyanin Petrovic.
From Malawi.
En la Ciudad de México.
Hola, mi nombre es Adrián, soy de la Ciudad de México.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Laura Zavala y estás escuchando a Brandy Stankovic.
From Panama.
I'm from the Philippines. Mabuhay.
Singapore People Innovation Lab.
I'm Tammy from Thailand.
Aberfeldy, Central Perthshire, Scotland.
St. Lucia, the Helen of the West.
I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, the land of soca, calypso, and limbo.
You're here in very sunny London.
Caracas, Venezuela.
Brandy Stankovic on the Strategic Hotbox.
Hotbox.
The Hotbox.
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 The Hotbox.
Hotbox. The Hotbox.
On Hotbox.
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 Hotbox. Hotbox.
Hotbox. The Hotbox.
The Hotbox.
Hotbox. Hey, go Brandy. We love you.
I love the international shout-outs.
So cool.
They make me like almost teary-eyed every time I watch that, and Paul's accent still does it for me. I just even staring at the TV like, good thing you were listening, because I just have a tough time with that.
That's it. I'll give you a full recap later. He was excellent.
Okay,
He was excellent, I assure you.
Good. I'm going to have to message to thank you later, so I'm going to need to know what the heck he said.
Good.
Okay, so I feel like you may have felt like I forgot that we might have some clips of your episode.
I mean, it's a long time ago.
Yeah,
Did someone dust off the annals
this is back in the VHS days,
That's
but we did rewind, and
You were kind.
you can't get away with this, that we're going to show a little clip from the very beginning.
Yes.
Here's Toby on the Hotbox. The listeners, what's one thing, the people that are watching, that they could go implement based on your experience and some of the things that you offer businesses?
Sure. Yeah. So as not to be redundant, I would say that one other tangible takeaway that we've done at our organization that I think ties a ribbon around some of the stuff we're talking about was we did an all-staff meeting, and we asked people to tape sheets of paper to their chest with 5 interesting facts about them that maybe other people didn't know. And so a large portion of the beginning of the staff meeting was devoted to walking around, reading these fun facts, unpacking them, learning a little bit more about your coworkers.
How cool is
and
that?
I think, it was really cool. My first fact was that I'm a huge Brandy Stankovic fan.
Oh,
but I think everybody already knows that about me. So, but no, I think that it was that's a fun, silly, easy way for an organization to start attempting to break down some culture, maybe barriers that might be there, and maybe build them back up a little bit stronger.
So look at that. We just happened to do some facts here while your video was playing.
Yeah, I wasn't watching it, so I had plenty to do.
So, the fact that flattery gets you everywhere, my first fact, of course, it worked back then, smooth today. But I love Toby too. And some Paul. I put Paul in there, and I should have put accents. I should have added accents. But number 2, I love guacamole. Who doesn't love me some guacamole? I love to dance. I love art. I love, see all the O's in there.
I do.
And then I'm the Connect 4 champion of the world. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not. I put a couple factaroonies myself. I did play Division I college soccer. That was, quite some time ago. I'm an Australian citizen, so Paul, I can tip my cap at your lovely accent, although I now walk like a duck, talk like a duck, smell like a duck. I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, which sometimes surprises people in a business setting. I will see you Connect 4, and I'll raise you beer pong.
Oh.
I am a champion beer pong player. I used to go by the name Undefeatable, and I do have an extreme fear of heights, so I guess there is something that can.
Well, there's some 5 interesting facts. And since this is a very special episode, we're going to challenge one another. We're going to go into maybe a little learn, love, kick-ass competition. And so the way this competition is going to break down, I'm going to come right here, Scott, that's cool. This way this competition is going to break down is I'm going to pick 3 heats, and then Toby's going to pick 3 heats, and then I'm going to challenge him. I'm going to take him down, and we're going to see who's better at some of these things. And then we're going to see who's the wiener. Who's going to win at this Learn, Love, Kick-Ass competition? And then, we'll crown up that Learn, Love, Kick-Ass winner at the end of all of this. What do you think?
Again, on brand, Brandy. I'm not surprised that you're going to. Yeah, I got you, kiddo. I see you.
Are you ready for this?
I am stoked.
We could do it today. We could make this happen today.
I happen to have a later flight.
All right, perfect. It's about to go down.
Let's do it.
We'll be back. We'll see you in a sec. I absolutely love to dance. I think you learned that today on the Hotbox, and because of that,
yeah, I'm nervous.
Part of the competition is going to be a little dance competition. Say what? And so we have some professionals here with us. It's about to go down. We are at Arthur Murray, Las Vegas, and the professionals are going to show us what's up. Although I feel like one professional has a little bit more work cut out for her to help Toby along the way. So did you bring your dance shoes? Are those dance shoes?
They're 2 left feet.
They're both left feet. Both of those shoes are left. Yeah, well, it's about to go down.
All right, Hotbox crew, Brandy has done what she always does to folks, which is to either throw them out of airplanes or throw them in the deep water. And I'm here with my girl Maybelline. Maybelline, you got a heck of a job cut out for you, but we'll see how it goes.
I'm ready to kick Toby's butt. I don't know about you guys, and I luckily have John here to show me the ropes. And so we're gonna do a little salsa dance. So do you think Toby can do it?
Whew, we'll see, we'll see.
Seriously? No, I shouldn't talk too much shit because there's a chance that he's gonna blow our minds because Toby kind of has that charisma that can schmooze just about anybody. But I'm banking on this one. Of all the different ones that we have set out for today, I'm banking on this one. So if I don't nail the dance, I don't know who I'm gonna be as a human being. Let's be honest. We'll see.
So it is as difficult as expected, which is probably not great, because I was hoping to take to it like a duck to water, but I am taking it to it like a duck to a turducken.
Hey, what's up? Jonathan, guys. I'm with Brandy. You know what? We're killing it on the dance floor. And honestly, they should just stop. They should just give up because we're just gonna kill it. That's it. Peace out. Done. We're good.
All right, everyone. So Toby came in off the bat saying 2 left feet, but I completely disagree. I think John, sorry, Brandy, too. You guys are going down.
Whose chairs are those? The judges? The judges? You're not gonna need the whole chair, you just need the edge, bro.
Jeez. I'm judging.
Time you've ever opened your eyes?
Give me the red marker.
Sé que tú no quieres que yo a ti te quiera, siempre tú me esquivas de alguna manera. Si te busco por aquí, me sales por allá. Lo único que yo quiero, no me hagas sufrir más, tú verás. Así te darás de cuenta que si te engañan duele.
That's not fair because she had an opportunity to dance with a guy that knows how to dance. So that's, you know.
What are you trying to say? This is also some bullshit after I just gave him a 10 for some shimmies. So we just finished our dance recital. Let's call that a recital. Or competition, where I kicked Toby's butt. Thank goodness for Zach for pulling out the extra 0, because otherwise, stink face.
Otherwise, I'm the only 0 in this.
Stink face is already happening today. But I wanted to just recap with Maybelline and John. First of all, thank you so much for allowing us to be here and jump in with you guys. And for all of the Strategic Hotbox listeners and watchers, we were jumping feet first. What was it like to just jump in and dance?
It was difficult. It was a real challenge. Thank God, honestly, it's a real lesson. And if you've got a great teammate and you can kind of give yourself over to that teammate, then you can make a lot more progress than you thought. So really fortunate to have Maybelline on my team. So one of the things Brandy always loves to do on the Strategic Hotbox is give you a kick-ass takeaway. Unfortunately, I did not win today in the dance competition, but I did win in leaving with a kick-ass takeaway, which is, to be honest with you, you need to remind yourself sometimes you can do stuff maybe you didn't think you can. So get out there, try, do it, and kick ass.
Longevity Sports Center, about to get our soccer on.
Yeah, we had a decent little warm-up. I told Brandy I don't mind playing some soccer, but I can't just jump into it anymore. My quad's gonna explode. So we got a little warm-up in and we're ready to rock and roll now, man.
And I tell him, you know, I kick the ball around with 5-year-olds. I feel like...
Same-sies. Total same-sies.
It ain't gonna be a thing for me. No
like
big
a chicken
deal.
wing. Yeah.
So we're gonna play a little game. He's gonna kick some balls. I'm gonna stop him and I'm gonna show him who's boss. Serious if my hair's going in a ponytail.
So I was thinking we'll do a little game where we can kind of blend some goalkeeping skills, which was the position I played growing up. So we're gonna line 10 balls up. Say it's about 12 yards from goal. And the person on offense can just do whatever they want. They can throw, they can punt, they can drop kick, they can hit it off the floor. And if you score 5 or more, you get a point. If you score fewer than 5, you're out, you gotta swap. Get yourself in net, we'll have the other goalkeeper come out, and we'll just take it from there.
Seems easy enough, right? Right.
Ladies first, kiddo.
Kicked 10 soccer balls and I feel really good about it. Probably not gonna be able to move tomorrow. I feel like I've earned this bottle of water. And yeah, Toby thinks he's badass and I don't know.
Well, to be honest, we had a couple drinks in the studio. I'm also not peak physical condition, but so far I feel like I may take this one.
What just happened is he let a lot more balls go by than he was comfortable with. And for the record, these are Toby's gloves. They're way too big for me. He's using it as a handicap, but I'm gonna go with it because that's the kind of person I am. It was so close.
Yeah, that was great.
It was so close. Thought I was used to balls flying in my face.
I wasn't gonna hit you. I wasn't gonna hit him. I wasn't even close.
Since the score is 45-3, I'm going to not hold back. This is the no holds barred round.
These little cheaters are gonna both come at me and they're gonna kick from opposite ends. Watch, watch. You know, I knew it was gonna be easy. I knew it was going to be downhill with a tailwind, but I didn't know she would be this bad.
He's just sad because for round 1, I got way more balls than he was expecting.
Well, we played. How did it go?
We're not talking.
Okay.
Him and I are not talking. I mean,
close.
Humbled, humbled to say the least. No, it was fun. It was really, really fun. I kicked in a couple, which I'm really proud of myself for. I took some balls to the body, which some I intended to be in front of, and some I did not intend to be in front of, and just happened to get in front of.
No, well, I think you know, every once in a while, it's important for me. You know, this day is not going to go 100% my way. So when I have my opportunities, I feel like I have to take them, which might be my kick-ass. Take your opportunities when they're in front of you, guys.
Kick-ass takeaway for this is watch out for the vengeance in people's eyes. Competition time at painting class. So we're about to get a little dirty. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it says Pinot and palette, so I'm just assuming there's wine in there, which should be good.
He's hoping for the wine. I can't wait to dig into the paints. This is my pick here with painting, and so I'm hoping to kick a little butt on this one too. But we'll see. Time to get our Picasso on. We are here at Pinot's Palette in Green Valley, and we're gonna just rock this out. So I'm thinking.
Yeah, like what am I supposed to paint?
I'm thinking that we should paint. We'll just go with a theme.
Okay.
And why don't we do something in the music theme, something musical?
Okay, so just literally whatever that means to me.
Anything that represents music.
Okay.
And to judge, we'll maybe ask some people around what they think.
Perfect. So then this is half paint and then half salesmanship, where I can just
well,
as
no,
long as I
so
convince
at the
people
end of that, so
objectively you can throw up to a vote. Your people.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this.
Well, then you're gonna have to be dramatically better than me, because I'm for sure a better salesperson than you.
That's gonna happen. Can't take me anywhere.
Yeah, I'm about to be a dead man when I go to competition, paint competition with Brandy Love, who's quite the artist, I understand.
You know, the interesting thing about art to me is that there's no wrong in art, and the longer I spend in this, the more love that's bursting out of my heart, so.
I do feel like it's marginally unfair that she used to come up with the theme. I'm like, hold on. I left for a beer, and I'm pretty sure she swapped out her canvas with something she's been slowly painting over the last 6 months. You threw the time lapse in the paint too, so there'd be no evidence. Oh my God, it's a conspiracy.
It's a good thing that all of this is on camera.
It's not.
Because all of you have been seeing the progress of this painting. We just finished our competition here.
Really close, really close. Like, photo finish. Yes, thank you.
By a nose that covered in paint. I got a little paint on me. That's how you can tell a real artist.
Yeah, I'm clean as a whistle, man. This had no collateral damage.
By how covered in paint you end up at the end of it, because you really you gotta just immerse yourself in art overall.
Yeah, no, it was awesome, and I think you're looking for something kick-ass. Have fun. check back in?
Oh, you lose.
Yes!
You lose.
I don't even feel like there is a kick-ass. Other than
You lose.
the kick-ass takeaway from this is don't listen to haters.
That's
no
it.
matter how many people are chirping in your ear, you gotta stay focused
Especially
on the prize.
when they were ultimately correct and she did indeed go on to lose. Don't listen to them.
Eye on the prize. Here we are in downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street Experience, perfect place to end the day. What a competition.
Great day.
We have played soccer, we have danced, we've painted, we've played some bar games.
Yes.
Poorly
yes.
on my part. We've learned, we've loved, and we've kicked a little ass.
Yeah, we have.
You've kicked ass today.
Thank you, and thank you for pushing me. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention you kicked some ass today, Brandy.
Thank you. I dodged things today. I pushed myself today. I may be sore tomorrow, but all of it better for me.
Yeah.
So now, who gets the elusive crown?
I don't know, man. I feel like the whole thing about the strategic hotbox, the whole thing about the 3-year, no one's a winner or a loser. So we pushed ourselves all day, and to be honest with you, I think we're both winners, and that we should probably just keep pushing ourselves for the rest of the day.
You know, you did say on the hotbox earlier that you were afraid of heights, so we could push that boundary a little.
I did say that.
I think there's a little zip line in our future. What do you think?
I'll do it.
All right. So we'll end the day today on a little zip line. We'll give this to one of the kids.
Yeah.
And then we'll urge all of you to keep kicking butt and join. And thank you so much for joining us on the Strategic Hotbox. 3 years.
3
years. Gotta look at 1, 2, 3. 3 years. Thank you for joining us for the 3-year celebration on the Strategic Hotbox. From the bottom of my heart, for everyone listening and watching, everybody I've met from all over the world, for all the guests that have been here, the people that support this, people that answer the text, the people that say yes. Thank you. And thank you in a million other languages. You're all very special. This show is because of you. Thank you to Toby for being here. Yes. Thank you for being out for the crazy competition. Thank you to Paul Norgrove for being here and joining us today. And it's a celebration all around.
Learn, love, kick ass. Good
and
stuff,
I'm turning 29 again.
Yeah,
so
it's your 11th annual 29th
Here comes Zach
birthday.
right now joining us here. Would you
dude.
do a, and as he's doing this, if you want to shout out to us on, where's yours, Zach? On Facebook or at Strategic Hotbox or Instagram or Twitter. Join us and let us know what you want to know. But until then, until I see you again, get out there and kick some ass.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.